Chief is on board with the idea of restricting some gun sales.
His support comes a week after the murders of 26 children and adults in Newtown, Connecticut. 9 News reporter Tom McKee.
That's right. He has spoken to the chief. He's live with his concern. Tom.
Well, Tanya, those winds of change could affect the sale of assault rifles and the sale of weapons at gun shows and flea markets. Right now, 300 million weapons in a country with 330 million people. Cincinnati police doing what they can to keep the illegal ones off the streets, but it's a tough task.
Peggy Harris Bush has felt the pain of gun violence for 5 years. Her son Johnny was murdered in 2007 and the case remains unsolved.
He was carjacked and killed in Northside and shot in his back 3 times. And that's something I just simply have not been able to recover from.
This Madisonville mother and Cincinnati Public Schools employee wants to make it tougher to buy a weapon.
It's easier to get a gun than to get a meal sometimes for some people. So I think something has to be done.
These are some of the guns taken off the streets of Cincinnati. They fill box after box in the police property room. There are dozens of long guns and even more handguns.
So guns are a problem.
The department recovered over 1,000 weapons each year from 2007 to 2011. That number has already been reached for 2012.
I'm an advocate that good Americans should have the ability to legally carry weapons. I don't have a problem with that. I'm just saying that we need to do a better job in restriction.
Cincinnati Police Chief James Craig won't get into the politics of gun control, just the realities.
I'm troubled that there's no restrictions on, in some places, the sale of some of these assault weapons. What are assault weapons for? We're not talking about hunting or these flea markets or gun shows that anybody can walk in and buy a weapon. I struggle with that. I struggle with it because who are we selling handguns to? What about the mentally ill?
Harris Bush hopes the nation's leaders act soon so she can enjoy her job and the holidays a bit more.
I'm a plumber, and Johnny, like myself, was a plumber. So even working is hard, to tell the truth.
Now, Chief Craig told me the department is going to continue to partner with federal officials to crack down on illegal gun sales. He told me that he pointed to a recent case in Blanchester where they confiscated 100 guns that were destined to be sold on the streets of Cincinnati this year. Tom McKee, 9 News, live in the West End.
And Tom, thanks. And you see that wind whipping around behind Tom there. We're just finding out that 12,000 Buchanan